When I want to override methods, I have to create the methods with the same signature. So typically, this means that they have the same access modifier and the same name. They can vary on the return type and the number and the kinds of parameters. So we're going to practice with this say thanks example. We're going to create our first method. I'm going to call it say thanks. And our first method is going to take in a single string. When I receive this first name, I'm going to have it print out the first name to the console with thanks added to the beginning of it. Now I want to create another method with the same name, and this time it's going to accept two string parameters, one with the first name and one with the last name, and this is going to be a more formal thank you. To implement this, I'm going to keep my same access modifier, of course the static keyword. I'm going to again have my void return type, but I wouldn't necessarily have to. And then my method name is going to be exactly the same, and I will add an additional parameter inside of my parameter list. Finally, I'm going to write the same method to accept three strings as parameters, a title, a first name, and a last name, and I'll have this print out a different message yet. Now, whenever you're writing overloaded methods, you have to keep in mind that the order and the type of the method parameters matter. So for example, I could not create another method that was called say thanks that took in two strings, whether maybe it was title and the last name, because it's going to always run, well, it won't allow me to, but it would run this one because this one has the same parameter signature. It has a string and a string. Now I could, however, have a method that had a string and an int, and I could write another method that had an int and a string. So I could reverse those two, and those two would be different methods. So let's practice running these. Pretty easy to run them. I'm just going to call in the method and pass in the correct number of correct number and type parameters. So here's my first run. And here's my second run. So this particular method takes in two strings, so it will go find the one that takes in two strings and run the results in that method body. Here it is. And then let's implement the third one and run it. And here it is as well. So if I try to run this method with a different type of parameter, let's say I try to pass in two integers, I'll get an error from Eclipse, and it'll say thanks takes string, but it's not applicable for the arguments int. So you can tell very quickly if you've written one wrong, or if you're trying to use the wrong types of parameters as well. So if I just change those to be strings, I'll have no problem running this method. So this is one solution for overriding our methods in the say thanks example.